This review is gonna be a bit different from my usual style, but I'll hope you'll stick around anyway. Lately, I've been feeling in a slump of sorts when it comes to enjoying my hobbies. Like I'm doing these things out of habit, you know? That was until I decided to play Roki. This has been on my backlog of games I bought on the Nintendo Switch, but I never quite got around to playing it. Having finally done so, I can quite safely say I was a big silly fox for not playing it sooner. Let me break it down for you. Roki is a point-and-click adventure game with some brilliant puzzles, where the main focus is on exploring and using the mystical and fascinating world around you to solve them. The game does a remarkable job at making these puzzles interesting, even though they aren't particularly challenging. It even surprised me by just being remarkably non-linear about how you can go about solving the puzzles. Because if you played a point-and-click before, you'll know that whatever you pick up is usually discarded after like one puzzle solution. Whereas in this game, you'll have tools that have a remarkably long list of uses, along with a decent selection of locations to visit and walk at, because this game is delightfully charming, which is helped along by an equally charming cast and story. You follow Tov, the big sister in a small but hurting family. Tov is the one mostly looking after her little brother Lars, as their father is severely depressed over the loss of his wife. One day, as Tov starts reading a bedtime story, their house is attacked by a monster, thrusting the family into a strange and dangerous realm of Scandinavian myth, where Tov must track down her brother and save him. Now, as a mythology lover, I was enthralled by the world and the references this game was packing, from trolls turning into stone and sunlight, to leaving offerings for little helpers. It made me so happy to see all these little details. What made me even happier was how they handled Tov dealing with the, oftentimes, none-too-friendly creatures of the world. Tov is determined, reasonably wary, and just desperate enough to push herself through these encounters you can tell she'd rather not be in at all. She's the enduring heart that carries the story. I should note that even though Toph is a nice lass who gets her way by helping out the creatures she encounters most of the time, the game once again surprised me by showing her using trickery and even outright borrowing of items at times to get through some trials. As some last points of interest, the game offers some quality of life features that I think need to be in any point and click from now on. With a press of a button, all interactable objects flash slightly on screen. This helped to keep me on track and engaged. Second is the fact that you have a sort of fast travel option to cut down on backtracking. It's rather well done. The only things about the game that aren't particularly stand out are the music and some late game pacing. The first part is pretty understandable, as it's mostly just ambient music, you know? But the second part feels a bit out of nowhere considering the smooth pacing through the rest of the game. But it's nothing deal-breaking, just odd. So, if you're looking for a great time and story, play Roki. It's not one I'll be forgetting soon, and I can only hope you'll enjoy your time with it. See ya!